Everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. So today I'm going to talk about the fifth solid principle, that's the dependency inversion principle. So when you think about the dependency inversion principle, right, you might have even heard about the term dependency injection as well, right? If you've been programming in different technologies, doesn't matter, Apex or C# or whatever. So let me give you a simple context, right? So you have so usually what happens in dependency inversion principle, right? You don't code according to the details, you code according to the abstractions. So high level module, right, it should not depend upon the low level module. So they should depend upon the abstractions, right? So you don't code according to the details, you code according to the abstraction. That's a simple, very simple definition, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to implement that using an Apex code. You can use whatever programming language you want. You can use C++, you can use Delphi, you can use C#, you can use Java, right? So the concept pretty much remains the same, but since I'm talking mostly about Salesforce, so I'm going to demonstrate using Apex, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about two classes, right? A very simple class, the one class which reads and write XML, and another class which reads and write JSON, right? So we're going to do this using dependency inversion principle, right? Okay, let's get started. The first thing first, you need to log into your org if you're using Salesforce. You can use Visual Studio Code if you want, that's good as well, but for simplicity, I'm gonna demonstrate using Dev Console, right? Okay, so going to Dev Console by going to the scarecrow icon, so Developer Console, right? And so what we're gonna do, let me close all of this one here. So I'm gonna create a interface first. So let's say I file, right, rewrite. So I'm just gonna do a basic interface with two methods, right? A very basic dummy methods, right? Nothing fancy about it. So void write write file, so write info, okay, and string, okay, string read info, okay, sounds good. So two methods, so you're reading an information and writing an information, right? So what we're gonna do, just give me a second, let's save. Okay, so we're gonna create a class, the first class, Apex class, and it's gonna do, say, XML class, right? Since we're talking about XML, and we're gonna do implement, right? And the name of this interface, right? And so we're gonna do a dummy method here. So what we're gonna do, so I'm gonna copy this one here and just gonna put it here, right? And let's start with so I'm gonna do public, right? Just gonna do public void here, and just gonna do system.debug, right? So I'm gonna do writing XML, right? And so I'm gonna do public string, right? And so return, so sorry, XML. Okay, so nice and easy, nothing fancy here. So let me save it. Okay, so similarly we're gonna do the JSON as well. JSON class, right? It's a very basic, right? So JSON class, and so okay, so let me copy the similar stuff here, right? And just instead of XML, I'm gonna do as JSON, right? Okay, so writing JSON, right? And just gonna do JSON. Okay, nice and easy, right? Nothing fancy about it. Okay, so now it's saving it. So let's create another class here. Okay, this is where it makes a difference. So the file read write class, okay, right? So file read and write class. So I'm gonna use a interface method here. So I'm just gonna do, interface. Let me do just private interface. Just gonna do if file, right? Okay, and it's gonna do public. Okay, sorry. Just gonna do a constructor here. Okay, and right. So I'm gonna do this one here. Just for now, simplicity. Okay, file object. Please make sure that you have a proper naming convention. So whatever naming convention your company follows, right? Stick to that. It helps. Okay, and now I'm just going to do public. Right, I'm just going to do static void, and you know what? Let's forget about the static method for now. Just keep it simple. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can use static as well. So I'm just going to keep it non-static for now. So I'm going to copy the same method here, right? And so just see the difference here. Public void info, and it's just going to do here, okay? And public string, okay? Right. Now, what's the difference here? So in this case, right? So we are referring to the method of this one, right? So you can say f dot, right? So you can pretty much say this, right? And so in this case, you can do so return. Okay, so ifile dot reinfo, right? Nice and easy, nothing fancy here. So what I've done was I created it's kind of a helper class where I've used the interface and passing the interface through the constructor, right? So that, it depends on abstraction, what are you going to code, rather than the details, right? So now, we have first a very, very basic interface. That's the ifile read write, right? That's which contains two basic methods. You can add more if you like. Then we have implemented two classes like XML class and JSON class, which uses interface, and then we create this file read write class, and where I'm passing this interface through the constructor, and then I'm using that interface variable to call the respective method, right? So now how do you use it? Okay, I'll show you how to use it. Okay, so let's go to execute window, so just forget about that one. Okay, so we're gonna do file read write. Okay, hopefully if file equals to new. You can do XML class, right? Just to see if it works. Just see if you know. Okay, it works. So that's not a problem here. You can do that, as I said, using Visual Studio Code, so that's fine. And so now we can also do. Okay, so what we're gonna do? Create this file read write class, right? fr equals to new file read write class, right? If you're not sure, you can just copy the name here. Okay, and then you can copy the name here. All right, now see the difference here, right? It expects a constructor with the value, so you're gonna pass this ifile here, right? And so you're gonna do fr dot write info, okay, right? And system dot debug. I'm gonna do fr dot read info. So the good thing about Apex is a case insensitive language, unlike C#. So at times it's good to pay attention to that. Okay, so what I've done, I've created a instance of this class, XML class, right? Obviously, I can do this because this class is using this interface anyways and implementing it. So you can do something like this, which is pretty simple way to do it. And then I'm passing the interface or variable to the constructor of this main class, right? So I'm going to run this, and then you see the difference. Okay. Right, and then you see writing XML, right? Now let me do this difference here, and I'm going to do I file equals to new JSON class, right? Do something like that. I'll see what will happen. See, I'm writing JSON. So you can see, right, you're not coding according to details, you're coding according to abstraction, right? This is why this principle is very powerful, because you don't have to know the underlying detail, right? I'm just calling that class and then just passing the instance. So it does the job for me, right? So yeah, so that's why, it's good to understand the Solid Principle. So Solid Principle gives you that edge when you write the software development, when you're customizing it. It doesn't matter you're doing it in Apex, you're doing it in C# or any programming language associated with object-oriented, right? So it will give you that edge. It will give you that, you will think from a different perspective. It will help you write elegant and easily maintainable code, right? Because the main point of writing any code is to write in an elegant way, in an efficient way, so that going forward in the future it involves less maintenance, right? I mean, there's no point in writing fancy code which no one able to understand. First of all, takes a lot of time to troubleshoot and very difficult to maintain, right? That's a garbage code in my opinion. I've seen code where people have overcomplicated the stuff. It's waste of time because first of all, another developer coming to the team will have hard time understanding it. Second, right, the chances of breaking an existing functionality is way too higher, right? So that's why it's very important to follow a good design pattern whenever you are doing any kind of customization. It doesn't matter you're doing in .NET Core or any platform, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. So this is the final leg of Solid Principle I wanted to cover. I hope you enjoyed so far what I've taught. Please try to think about it when you're doing the next customization or integration or whatever on Salesforce platform. It's very handy. It's very useful. I've also talked about facade factory pattern, factory pattern, and other one as well. Right? Please check it out if you're interested. It's good to, and there are a lot of design pattern books out there. So when you get some time, if you're not sure about it, please have a read. It gives you a different perspective to software development, right? That being said, greetings and adios from New Zealand. Take care. Bye-bye.